Donald Trump had just an absolutely horrific week this week, folks. Not only did we have the humiliating losses for the Republicans on Tuesday, which a lot of voters said was a complete repudiation of everything that Donald Trump is, says, and does, but he also got smacked around by a couple of federal judges. Before we even got to Tuesday, of course, two different federal judges had ruled that the USDA does, in fact, have to release the contingency funds for SNAP, whether they want to or not. They're legally required to do it. And then after Tuesday's humiliation, one of those same judges had another case from the administration and ruled against Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who had been sued by a coalition of states across the country led by California after he denied them their federal highway transportation funds because those states were not helping with our immigration raids. So here's a little bit of a backstory. States, cities, municipalities, localities, whatever you are, they are not legally required to aid the federal government in any way with immigration enforcement. Immigration enforcement is, of course, done by the federal level, by the federal officers. They have, jurisdiction everywhere, so they can go in anywhere. But cities and states are under no obligation to provide their officers that they pay for to go and help them. And Sean Duffy, who again is a former reality TV contestant, doesn't seem to understand that. So when certain states said, we can't stop you from coming in, but we're not going to help you do any of this. Like, that's on you. Sean Duffy said, well, fine, I'm going to withhold all your federal transportation funds. Yeah, then maybe you'll help me out. Well, U.S. District Chief Judge John McConnell had this to say about Duffy's actions. None of the statutes cited by the Department of Transportation expressly afford it the kind of sweeping authority it claims. And those statutes governing specific transportation grant programs that contain lists of defined terms and conditions, followed by catch-all provisions affording DOT latitude to determine additional terms and conditions, cannot be reasonably read as conferring on Department of Transportation the power to make those additional terms and conditions utterly unrelated to either the preceding terms or the goals of the specific transportation grant program at issue. The Constitution demands the court set aside this lawless behavior. So there's a lot of fancy words, right? A lot of legalese, but basically he's like, listen, you cited a lot of rules, but none of them say you have the authority to withhold funds because a state is not doing what you want them to do. Okay? That's not legal. And it's my constitutional authority, the judge says, or it's my constitutional duty to force you to follow the law. So I'm forcing you to follow the law. So all of those so-called sanctuary states, they get their money back. And you can't force them to comply with your immigration demands. If they were to deny you entry into their state, that's a separate story. The states can't do that, unfortunately. But they can say, we're not going to give you our resources that our taxpayers pay for. You're on your own. And that is what the judge's ruling really means. And that is a significant blow to Donald Trump as part of his already very bad week. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.